changes from the ATO. So I'm going to give you a bit of a context information about why the Australian government decided to introduce e-invoicing for us here in Australia. So the journey starts a little while ago. Back in 2015, the ATO commissioned a report with business to understand what are some of the key issues or irritants that that challenges business in being productive. Unsurprisingly, administration of invoices was very high on that list, as was late or slow payments by their supply chain. So we looked at that report and we got a group of industry people together to work with this to understand what we need for this in Australia. We developed a framework based on e-invoicing, and from that we then developed an initial framework which we piloted in July 2019. Now, when a country looks at e-invoicing, there's a major factor that they have to consider, and that's about how they're going to implement it in their country. So around the globe, there's all various ways they do it, but two major factors come into the consideration. So one is, do they do it to improve their GST or indirect tax compliance rate, or do they want to boost productivity, or in some cases, both those outcomes they're trying to achieve? Here in Australia and New Zealand, which we partnered with, we saw the improvement really was needed around productivity, and hence why the way we've designed our system here in Australia and New Zealand. And when you think about in Australia, we have over 1.2 billion invoice transactions per annum. That's a lot of opportunity for increased productivity. So with that relationship with New Zealand back in 2018, when I joined the team, we also took on a decision to pilot the initial framework, but then concurrently looked at an open standard that allows Australian and Kiwi business trade not only in a trans-Tasman sense, but on a global footprint, and hence why we adopted an open standard called Peppol. From us being accredited as a authority here at ATO in Australia, we then put a new specification into the market, and from December 2019, we're able to receive and send the first invoices through the network, which is a great milestone. Importantly, since then, though, we at the ATO have driven a federal government mandate, which sees us today about 95% able to receive e-invoices. And from that, we're now paying our supply chain in 5 days. So what that demonstrates is the fantastic efficiency that e-invoicing can provide to a business or an agency in their accounts payable. A second part of our role in 2020 was to start to build the network, and part of that was actually accrediting access points, for example, at Veltatech. So we're busily bringing those people on to allow our businesses then to connect to the network. 2021, we had some more access points joining the network, but from there we started to see small business software also into the market and allow businesses to start to send e-invoices through the network. Where we are today in 2022, we've largely got most of the software ready in the market, ready for business to use. We've been busy though raising awareness. A bit of an issue we have is that awareness still remains low in this country, but is growing quickly now. And secondly, once they've got awareness, there is some confusion. I think, Debbie, you pointed out that invoicing for us is not including emails and PDFs. It's about a digital exchange of that invoice, and you'll see that in the demonstration shortly. Our major focus to date has been helping tax agents and bookkeepers understand what e-invoicing is about. So when businesses are using the services of bookkeepers, etc., they're able to understand what they need for their business. Another point we've been busy doing is that in August this year, we have an event called e-invoicing week, where you and your supply chain will be invited along to come to see showcases of practical implementations of e-invoice and find out more information about it.